Hey everyone, this is artist Kenneth J. Lewis Sr., KJL Art Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host this evening, or this afternoon rather. Um, what we have at the KJL Art Sanctuary podcast, every Sunday at 11 a.m., we interview different artists, sculptor, or whatever. And we just love uh, having these artists on sharing their journey, sharing their uh, artistic expressions, their processes, and other things. And we're so grateful for all of the artists that do come on. We also have we do art history, which we have Purvis Young coming up shortly, and museum and gallery tours, which will be coming up as well. Also, we have art with Kenneth, and that's one podcast I have where you can follow me um, and go along with the painting that I'm creating to follow the process of me creating that particular piece of artwork. Today we have Saima Youssef is our artist on today. I mean, an amazing artist and person, and you're really, really going to enjoy her on here today. Let me give you her, okay, a little bio of Saima. You get here. I don't have my reading glasses. I forgot to bring them with me, so I have to blow these. I have to blow the thing up really big for me to see it. Okay. Throughout her life, Simon Youssef has consistently been drawn to create beauty and I had to turn something off here um, and question spiritual truth. She pursued art in high school and then went on to a major fine art institute at the College of New Jersey. One of her greatest memories from college is when renowned professor Wendell Brooks said that her work resounds with soul. She graduated with honors in 1995 and after working at Ethan Allen as a designer for many years, decided to follow a yearning to be more expressive in creating art that transcends the human condition. Currently, she runs a holistic art studio in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, where she creates art, teaches art classes, hosts meditation, yoga, and paint parties. Her intention in creating art is to bring the attention of you, the viewer, back to the essence of where we all originate from, our collective consciousness, our source. Her subject matter varies from the cosmos, abstract, seascapes, or the female form, but this usually centers around the theme of spiritual union. Her paintings are symbolic depictions of our shared suffering and the transformative power of acceptance and love. Sima meditates as she paints, becoming a hollow vessel through which something greater can be expressed in this process, she is humble and receptive as she explores the meaning of existence. So, what a wonderful introduction. And without any further ado, we have Saima Yosef. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kenneth. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy to have you on here. And, what a pleasure. What a pleasure. And what a beautiful background you have there going on.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just my home. I'm some pieces I'm working on lately, so I thought that'd be nice. The colors are nice for the background.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, every artist that comes on, and we kind of break the ice with it.
Huh?
Every artist has like a saying that they either live by or something that they, have on their wall or whatever. But what you gave me was what you seek is seeking you, Arumi. Tell me, why is that something that resonates with you?
Um, well, there's like a saying in my culture. I don't know if it's also from the Bible, but you take one step closer to God, God takes 10 steps closer to you. It's like a
Mhm.
metaphor. So I
Uh,
think that's what that stems from, that if you're really passionate about something, it's like a God-given seed that's planted in you. So you don't know when that seed is going to germinate, but when it does germinate, if you follow whatever has been that internal compass that's
mhm.
been implanted in you from birth, you're going to be seeing signs on the way that whatever you're seeking, that is already in you
Mhm.
for you to be going after that. Maybe in your case, you picked up a paintbrush, and you started painting at 49 or something, you said?
47. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you felt like it was home, probably, like that's where you really belong, expressing, using color. And
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was more spiritual. That's why I call my place KJL Art Sanctuary, because I,
Mhm.
and I'm self-taught. I never thought about being an artist. It came upon me. I knew I loved art, but kind of it kind of meshed in its own organic way, which is
Yeah,
all.
so exactly. So that's case in point. That's exactly what I mean. What
Hmm.
you seek. If you're honest with yourself and authentic in finding out what your purpose in life is, then whatever you're seeking will be coming after you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we get started with showing some of your artwork, I'd like to play like a short video for you to get a little bit more comfortable with Simon. So we're gonna play this little short clip, and then we'll come back and we'll have some more questions. Uh, Simon Yosef.
Basically, through emptying one's mind of all thoughts, personal desires, nafs, and by syncing to the music, you reach this serenely beautiful space. The dervishes spin their bodies in repetitive circles, a mesmerizing imitation of planets orbiting the sun, a cosmic dance in which the entire universe revels. I hope my work touches your heart with a reflection of our shared beauty. Allah.
Absolutely beautiful. Like, what a nice layout. I remember that day. I actually was the curator at that time at Langston Hughes Library and Cultural Center in St. Albans, Queens. And you came up to do the show. It was probably the best that spot ever looked. Your art looked absolutely amazing in there.
Yeah,
So
that was a fun exhibition. Really nice, beautiful gallery, and you put up the work really well.
thank you, thank you. So let's also look at some of Simon's Youssef. I said Yosef, so bear with me, people. Okay.
It's okay. It goes both ways. So people pronounce it both ways, so it's fine.
Okay, so here we have this. I think is your Instagram, or is this the Instagram?
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah,
No,
I
yeah, that's
don't
the
have my
Instagram.
reading glasses, and then right here, this looks like your Facebook.
No, that's the Instagram, my studio
Oh,
page,
yes,
and the other one was my artist page.
and then here is the Heart of Art.
That's the
This is
Facebook.
That's the Facebook page, and then we have here. I'm going to put these up multiple times so that you all can follow Simon. Okay, so let me ask you. I'm going to ask you a couple questions here. Like, how do you balance? Because I know you have a family and you have your business, what we're going to talk about as well. Is like, how do you balance creating artwork and family life and school? How do you balance that?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I ask myself how I balance it. Well, now that my kids are older, it's a little easier. They're in college now, and my daughter actually helps me a lot in the studio to run the events.
Mhm.
Um, and I think I have a nice work-life balance now. Like I have, it takes discipline. I am very good at getting back to clients, so I have during the week. Um, Weekdays, I set aside time for emails, phone calls, texts, and then I have a good groove going with just correspondence on my website, like how to forms that they fill out. So for parties and commissions for artwork. Um, and then I do my classes in the evening. So I feel like I have a good rhythm going now. I don't know. It's just like I said, what you seek is seeking you. I really felt like a pull to do this, to start the art classes with kids. I enjoy working with kids, and it's seemed to be just falling into place.
Okay. Yeah, because I know with me too, I do multiple things and it's trying to fit in on the days that I just want to paint. I don't want to do anything else. But I got to answer some emails or I got to do this here. And it's like, I have to balance.
Exactly.
One trick I did to let me do a lot of painting and I like to share with other artists is I set timers. Like I say, okay, I have from 1 to 4 that I can paint. And I set the timer for 3 hours and I just start painting and I stop when the timer goes off. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't want to answer a phone. I won't do anything. It's that 3 hours is dedicated to just painting. And it goes by relatively quickly, but I'm very, very productive. I'm super focused. And I put my painting in blocks of time and then just do it that time and stop, you know? Mm-hmm. Because I know sometimes you can start painting and you'll be doing it next thing you know, 10 hours.
Exactly.
But this isn't about me and my process. This is about you. And this is about your artwork right now. So
I've been kind of doing like that, what you just described. I've been saying, okay, I only have 2 hours. So it's 8 p.m. I have to stop painting at 10 p.m., and I also like to set aside time for wellness, like mental wellness, like doing yoga or exercise and meditation, and fit that in because a body needs to be taken care of to be, at its highest potential. So I try to be guarded about sleeping enough, and which I didn't used to do when I was younger. But I've been doing what you said. Like I don't necessarily put a timer, but I just put a time limit. Like, okay, I have 2 hours, and then I'm going to stop painting. And I could just keep painting, like you said, for another 2-3 hours, and I wouldn't know. But I have to stop and, do a lesson plan or answer emails. So that's how I do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does work. Because I've been all night. So the other thing is, like, your medium. What do you normally like to work with? You like oils, acrylics? Like, what's medium?
I do large scale, mostly acrylic, and then mixed media. Like I'll do maybe some watercolor in there, or some pen and ink, or some charcoal. I mix it up sometimes, but mostly acrylic. I haven't really worked with oils yet, but I will one day. I think I will eventually when I have more time.
Well, when you're ready to do oil painting, I have some oil painting supplies for you. I had some people that had donated at one time some oil paint to me for my kids program, but we can't use the oil with the kids. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
temporary acrylic. So I have some for you if you want something to get started.
Okay.
Now, so tell me about this piece right here. We kind of got cut off our faces, but I really love this piece, and it was on your video too. You creating it, so I'm going to put up of your images and just give me an idea of maybe your inspiration and tell us a little bit about the piece.
Sure. The inspiration from that was I went to a Whirling Dervish retreat. So Whirling Dervishes, they're from Turkey. And that quote that in the beginning, the what you seek is seeking you, that's by Rumi, who was a Turkish poet and mystic. And he started this type of meditation, which is whirling, and the whirling has a metaphor. The right hand goes up, as you can see in the painting, and the left hand faces downwards. So the right hand represents the ethereal dimension, which is the invisible, which is God and spirit. And the left hand faces downwards, which is matter, this world of earth, this world of form. And like in the Bible, it probably says like made of clay, our earthly form. Which is a metaphor for matter, basically. So when they spin, the Sufis, their axis that they're spinning on is the heart, and their head kind of their chin bows down to the heart, and the right hand is kind of worshiping the spiritual, and the left hand is like grounded on this planet and this life that we have, this temporary life that we're living. And the heart is the unifying factor. So when they spin, it's a metaphor for the planets spinning around the sun and the moon spinning around the earth. And microcosm, macrocosm are all our cells that are our atoms that we are made of, and the Earth is made of. Everything is in existence is made of is electrons and neutrons and protons, and they're spinning. Electrons are spinning around the nucleus. So it's a metaphor that God has created this universe, and from the tiniest to the largest is spinning. Everything is spinning. Even though right now you and I are sitting talking to each other, Kenneth, but we can't tell the Earth is moving at 23,000 miles a second around this giant. Yeah, isn't that God's miracles? And around the sun, which is a hot ball of fire. So that's what the spinning was a metaphor for. So I came back from this retreat. It was a woman's silent retreat in the Catskills in upstate New York. And I was inspired to paint. So I was looking up some images, and then of Sufi whirling dancers. And I just simplified it to this black and white image. And then I wanted to do this metallic, like, burst of energy feeling behind it, that gold, so that you see movement. And you see the power of that, of this whole, what I just explained to you, the beauty and the power of God and movement and our cycles and how we spin and we go from, childhood, birth, all the way to death. And we're all in a balance between this world and the invisible world.
Wow. This one right here has a similar look to it right here. Here. And I really like this one too. I mean, I'm telling you, people, I've seen a couple of these in person. Yeah. These looking at it here does no justice to seeing.
Yeah, it's huge. You've seen them all. You hung them all.
Yeah,
and they're all sold now.
yes, beautiful paintings. Yes. So tell me a little bit about this. Is like this.
So this is the same. Was part of that Sufi series, and in this one, I used poured acrylic, poured paint. Look at the skirt, the dress. You can see it's like all paint that's like melting into each other. And then I would use the back of the brush to kind of push some of the swirls and keep going. They would keep going in the wet, fluid or acrylics. And it's basically like the Sufi the person represents any one of us human beings, and it's going towards the light, where it's, dissolving into oneness with God.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to look at one more and then I'm going to come off, but tell me a little bit about this one right here. This is absolutely stunning.
Yes, I love this one. So this one, when the Sufis first start to do their dance and they come out onto the stage, they put the right hand across the heart and then the left, and they bow down, and the hat that they wear, it's kind of symbolizes they call it the tombstone of the ego. So it's like you're surrendering your ego and you're bowing down. So you see this person, he's bowing down and his arms are crossed and he's forming the number 1. So from the top of his head, the hat, all the way down, it's kind of forming the symbol of 1. And then you could see behind him it looks like either a moon or some celestial object, right? It looks like a planet or something like that. Most people would say a moon, right? So what that represents is that in Islam and in Sufism, the word Tawheed means unity. And what that unity signifies is that everything on this universe is interconnected, and it's all one, coming from one source, and all of us are connected. What we do to any one of us, kind of like karma, it comes back. You think you might be getting back at someone, but having any sort of ill will towards somebody else comes back to you. So it's just about connection, that everything, all our systems are. And as we see now with this climate change and everybody saying, the way the rate of our gas, cars and pollution is making the Earth's temperature heat up. It also has to do with that. Like everything is interconnected. Absolutely. And we have to keep taking care of, and also within families. Like if like when my parents came here to America, they felt like, oh, well, in our old country, they're like grandparents and elders are revered, and you don't put them in nursing homes. But over here, a lot of times we would see like family units were just the parents and the 2 kids, and it was a little culture shock for us. So for us, it's like everything is connected. It's like a cycle. So when you have kids, grandkids, the elders are there to help you raise them. It's like it takes a village, kind of a metaphor.
Absolutely.
So it's like from the climate change to family systems, the nuclear family, to we're all connected. That's what I'm trying to say. Like one little bit affects, everything else in the system.
And it is so true what you're saying. I want to give Dubs World said, salute Kenny, salute Dubs World. Thanks for watching. We like I said, you are absolutely right on that. People don't understand just how interconnected everything is. We are not a bunch of individuals. I don't care what you think.
Yeah. It's not an individualistic society. Individualism tends to it takes away your power, Kenny. It's just
absolutely.
When you're bonded with your family, with your community, when you have bonds, that makes everyone stronger.
Exactly. It definitely does. An amazing artist we have on here right now, and it's not just that she's a talented artist. She's a wife, mother, just a good person, and I'm telling you, you'll love her art. I mean, please follow her. I'm going to show her social media again, and then we're going to look at a short clip of her again, and we're going to come back and ask Simon some more questions about her artwork and also Heart of Art. We're going to get to that as well. So, here I am doing my little moderator and everything. Eventually I'll get a moderator to help me with this, but for now we're just gonna do this. So we're gonna look at another clip here.
I have been drawn to create art and examine spiritual truth since early childhood. I love music and poetry, especially Rumi, as well as nature. I see the unnameable in the skies, the oceans, the flowers and trees, all the cycles of life. I aim to bring the attention of you, the viewer, back to the essence of where we all originate from. Our collective consciousness, or the source. My paintings are symbolic depictions of our shared suffering and the transformative power of acceptance and love.
All right, we're gonna put Simon's social media back up. Instagram. Have 2 Instagram pages here.
Mm-hmm.
And by all means, when you guys look here, I know we're moving by pretty quickly, but you'll be able to just pause it and make sure you have the right. So I like putting it up this way so that when you go to search for her, you can actually see her page and make sure you have the right person. Because there's a lot of people with her same name, believe it or not.
It's a very popular name in Pakistan.
It is. I put it in one time, and that was like all these people came up. I was like, oh my goodness. Yes. So
should I, since you showed me working in the studio in that video, should I take us on a tour of my studio?
Yeah, we can do that. Actually, we can do that.
In a little
my
bit.
next question was going to your inspiration, but by all means, let's walk to the studio. I really want to see it. So let's take a trip. Okay. And on the way there, you can kind of tell me what kind of inspired you.
Oh, and I'll show you before I leave real quick. So I also do portraits. So here's a baby portrait that I just...
That is so beautiful.
It's this baby. And there's the...
Wow.
Isn't she cute?
Oh, adorable. Oh, that's adorable. Both pictures, the picture and the painting, are adorable. Oh my God.
Okay, I'll walk us to the studio. Give a little tour. So I own the building at the Heart of Art, and I live upstairs We bought it about 20 years ago with the intention. We had the intention to put something artistic. We didn't know exactly what, but my husband and I are both artists. He's a musician.
Great guy too.
Him.
You froze for a second. You froze for a second. You may want to repeat what you said. You froze for a second.
Oh, sure. Here, I'll show you from the front. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can hear you.
So here's the building, heart of heart.
Isn't it nice?
And we're right here on Nottingham Way, right on the border of Hampton and Trenton.
Plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking, yes. Lots of parking here.
And the studio is beautiful on the inside. I've been in there. She's taken us in there, but it's a really beautiful space.
I've started to put some artwork outside as well.
Let me see.
And then I'll turn it around so that you guys can kind of see. And here's some artwork here, and I have some of my kids' artwork that I feature. The children that come, some sculptures. And then here's one of my paintings. Here's another painting, and the light's on. And then this is our newest venture, which the last few years, has been, it's kind of hard to see. I'll put on the glow lights and then you'll be able to see everything.
Yeah, the glow light. Yep.
It's been glow in the dark painting, which has really taken off. You can see there's the ceiling, and I'll turn on all the rest of the lights. And adults and children alike love to, I call it a playground, Kenny. Like, people can be, the lights being dim and the music on really lowers people's inhibitions, where they feel like,
yes,
where normal paint and sip, like, people are, it's bright lights and people are like looking at their neighbors thinking, oh, I can't do this, theirs is so much better, I'm not talented. But with this atmosphere, see the lights and up on the ceiling, and here's some beautiful lights. So we make this like relaxed atmosphere where it's more relaxed, and people kind of are with friends and they have food, and they also get pictures to trace exactly what they want. For example, this dog, this puppy. So you trace it, and you trace the image to exactly the right drawing, and then you get to paint it like this.
Exactly.
You can paint it however you want. I've had ladies groups come, like doing things like that. There's trees, there's tropical sunsets, there's a beautiful koi fish, there's a Hulk. So people can paint whatever they want, and I help them with the drawing.
Awesome. Now, could you turn the light on in there so we can see it a little brighter? I see it.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
It looks, no, it's very spacious. How many people do you normally have for your parties? Like, what's your
well, right now I'm set up for 20. This, you can see the 3 tables. I'll turn on some more lights.
Yeah.
So you can see it better. But I could do, if we don't need a dance floor, like I could do another 2 tables and have 16 more people. So about 40 people. Can you see it now?
Yep. Yeah, you can see it. Wow, isn't the space amazing?
And then if I turn on full lights, there you go.
Oh, and this is right. And this is right in Hamilton Township. I mean, it's not.
And then we have a table for food and snacks here. I have trays and serving, for everybody. I have it's like a one-stop shop. I have trays for everybody, whoever wants to serve stuff. Bring your own food.
Absolutely.
And then we have a cake table for birthdays. We have a table for drinks that goes, all the juices. And I have a fridge. I have a microwave. I have a sitting area in here. So awesome. That's right in Hamilton, border of Trenton.
Beautiful. So now, when you moved to the building, like you said, you got the building, you and your husband bought the building, and you said, I wanted to do something artistic and everything. Are you where you want to be with the business and everything at this point? How did COVID affect you, like in moving forward? Because it had an effect on everyone. How did you
Yeah.
get past that point?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh my God, when COVID hit and we were on lockdown, like our business was basically shut. So I kind of almost went into a depression because we didn't know how we were going to have any income. And then thank God the government slowly took a few months, but they started helping out small businesses a little bit. And what helped us survive is that we didn't have.
You're cutting your eyes off a little bit. Yeah,
Oh, here, let me put this somewhere where I can talk to you. Here we go. I think this is good right here. So, is this good?
Yep, that's better. Okay.
So, we survived because we own the building and we didn't have to pay a huge rent.
Yes.
That would have been like insanity. And also, a lot of our businesses closed down in the neighboring towns because of the rent and overhead and stuff. But somehow, miraculously, we survived. And right after COVID, I would say like 2022 January, so about 2 years ago, this whole year and the whole year 2022, it's like that saying, with God, like I always look at gratitude. I know you do, Kenny, you do too. Like somehow we survived, and I was just thinking like, should we even open up for we have kids class business and kids, the spread of germs, having a lot of children in schools is very dangerous, and we didn't want to take a chance too early. So a lot of business started opening up end of 2021, but we waited till 2022 and we started getting off the hook phone calls, and it's like I was like, wow, God works in such mysterious ways, like because kids had been cooped up for 2 years, no birthday parties, nothing because of lockdown. So parents, this is my guess. I don't know if this is exactly what happened, but my guess is parents started looking around for fun things for their kids to do. And I started getting hired to do kids' birthday parties, which I was originally primarily adult paint and sip. I still do adult paint and sips. But the kids loved it. A kid in a playground like this, where it's like lights are dim, they have bright colors, they have music, they have pizza and cake. They just loved it. And the word started spreading because I kind of pride myself in being very good with customer service, getting back to people and providing if I can, customize something for them for the party, I do it. And the mothers were so appreciative. And the word just spread, just all grassroots, just from word of mouth. It just spread, and knock on wood, it's just still spreading and going well. You asked me if we are at where we want to be. I actually eventually want to be more like producing my own art, whereas right now I'm doing more of a service to the community where kids come, have parties, adults come, they learn art, I teach art. But eventually I want to wind this down maybe about 5 years from now, where I'm working more on my own personal art and selling that. And my husband and I have a vision. We own the property.
You froze for a second there. You froze.
Okay.
You may want
to hear me? Okay.
I'll
repeat it. I'll repeat it. So I'm at the point now where I'm happy with the services. I provide more of a service teaching. I teach to children and to adults. But eventually I would like to get back into focusing more on my own art, my own personal art, and I would like to showcase that, and as well as community artists, and have showcases and art events where I show local art and we can sell the art for artists in the community. So my husband and I have a vision to take the outdoor space that's to the side of the studio and really build that up, perhaps a beautiful, large outdoor covered area where artists can display art, as well as when that's not being used, to have yoga and other type of wellness activities. Perhaps even on the weekends, do like art markets because it's a large space.
Yes.
We had a huge art show there a couple years ago in the fall, it was outdoors, October of 2021, and it was hugely successful. It was like a Hamilton art fair, and we had featured about 12 local artists from Hamilton, Trenton, Bordentown, Princeton, Robbinsville, and it did really well. So we want to do like outdoor art events and featuring more of my own and local art. So that's something we want to branch out into.
That's so beautiful, and I've been by there when you had one of those events, and it is nice. They have plenty of space there, and
Yeah,
an opportunity not just for Simon to show her artwork. Gives other artists the opportunity as well, and that's what
yes,
this is all about.
yeah,
Sharing
collective. Yes,
and
yes, exactly,
does work best that way. This is a
exactly.
building I put up right here, and I know some of you, if you from the local area, I'm sure you've gone. What's that? That's West State Street Extension, where down from where the Walmart is there. You keep going further down and towards Hamilton, and you run right in it, where you split off to go on 33. So, by all means, stop by her studio, follow her on social media, support her art program with her do paint parties there. Bring your children there for birthday parties, and it's amazing. I'm going to show you a clip of what she was talking about with the kids real quick, and then we'll come back. So I'm not sure if this one is a
Oh,
clip.
that's just a photo.
Oh, that's the photo. I'm sorry. I meant to go to the clip. I'm at. And that's something. It was only a few seconds, but it gives you an idea. Just with that few seconds, I felt like doing the funky chicken. I'm
Yeah,
telling my
exactly.
age, an old dance.
Oh, I should add, Kenneth, to that since you brought that up. We do more than just the art during the parties. The kids love it. It's old fashioned. We do musical chairs. Then we do freeze dance. Then they play a limbo game we have a glow in the dark limbo, like a big pole. Then they do pin the tail on the donkey, and the kids just go crazy. They love it. They love it. And it's
Awesome.
very organized, and the parents are like, "This is amazing, you guys," because it's really from the heart. That's why
Yes.
our place is called the Heart of Art. It's like,
Yes.
just offering some community and stuff we used to do as kids, and now going back to the simple games of childhood.
And,
Yeah,
and
like
you think and it's so funny that and like you were talking about the kids and doing the parties and things like that, and them and the lights to make it less stressful. The most
yes,
stressful people I've ever seen at paint parties are adults. Kids, they go with the flow. Adults,
exactly.
adults are like, no, am I putting this in the right spot? Am I doing this?
Yeah,
They give themselves anxiety, and the whole thing is supposed to be fun. So listen, adults
exactly.
out there, calm down. It's okay. There's
Exactly.
I just want to say this. There's this artist called L.S. Lowry, right? He's in Manchester, England, right? Old guy. And he made this comment. He says, artists are always talking about, well, nobody buys my art or does this and everything. He says, man, that's pretty pretentious of you. He said, nobody asked you to paint it in the first place. So you're complaining. Like, so funny how we put anxiety on ourselves. Listen, no one asked me to paint any picture I paint. If someone buys it, I'm just grateful.
Exactly.
But I'm not complaining if somebody didn't buy something I created. They didn't ask me to.
Yeah, I mean, because you create it, because you have a love to create. You have a potential and a yearning to create it. So,
And if they want it, now they gotta buy it from me. That's the
yes,
difference. So, but I'm not gonna be mad because somebody did.
yes.
Oh, it's
And
so
what you said earlier, like, and adults are so anxiety ridden. You want to give it adult anxiety, give them a blank canvas and say, just paint something, anything. And they'll be like,
anything.
oh,
I can't.
oh my God, what
Oh,
if
it's-
I mess up? I'm like, it's just paint. It's
It
just
is.
paint. You can just paint over it.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm not the only one. Okay.
Yeah, no, people get very self-critical and self-judgmental.
of their own self, and they don't necessarily have to.
Yes, you don't have to. It's about just having fun, really, just relaxing and enjoying the creation.
Let me ask you about your social media. How has social media helped your art business? Because it's a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a game changer. I feel like with the word of mouth that I was speaking of earlier, like with the kids' classes as well as the parties, moms just spread it on Facebook. They would share it. Social media has helped tremendously. Like, I don't think this would have spread my business. Like, if this was 1985, I don't think I would be able to spread the word like this fast without paying for a lot of advertising on billboards or radio, print, and magazines, like back in the 80s and 90s before social media started in 2008 when Facebook started. It really would not have been possible, because if you're a small business starting out, you had, other than paying large amounts of money for advertising, it was really hard to make a name for yourself. And I think just like influencers on social media, they've become so popular. Like, if you have a will and you have a tenacity, and like you can like keep showing up, like you will be successful. Like, influencers, that's how they do it. And I feel like if you're a small business, you can get onto that influencer kind of vibe and keep putting yourself out there, keep putting it out there. It might not be like, I'm not a social media influencer. I'm not on social media like, that's not my bread and butter, but I can showcase my artwork using that platform, which is social media, and get just enough marketing. I do, although I should preface that by saying I do put in a lot of hours a week just posting stuff, editing stuff, taking photographs, videos during my parties, during my classes, and then putting the content out there. So maybe like some weeks I'll do 3 hours, some weeks I'll do 4 or 5 hours, editing videos and putting it on Instagram. And I really love my videos on Instagram of the art parties and classes, and I think they look really good.
Let me ask,
I'm very happy about that.
When you're doing your advertising, do you, like, some people, like, they set up all their advertising and they do it like day by day or every other day. Do you schedule your posts? Because there's an option where you can actually schedule your posts on a lot of these social media. So what I do is I pick one day, then I schedule a bunch of posts. I create all my advertising, and then they shoot out at different times during the week. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I schedule it only for, I don't do it like, oh, it's going to be every Tuesday or when. I don't do it like that. I do it when I have some good content that I really want to share. If I got some good footage that weekend, and I really want to share that, but I will wait and schedule it at a time that I know that social media is really receptive. So like when people get home from work around 6, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. after dinner, and they go on social media, that's when I will post it. Or I'll post it first thing in the morning. A lot of people check it first thing in the morning, 7 a.m. So I look out for time. Yeah. And I try to post it when I know I'll grab a larger audience.
Yes. And you know what your audience is. All you have to do is go in and look at your insights and algorithms and all that stuff. And then you can determine when people are coming on as well. You can determine your demographics and all that stuff, because that goes in. A lot of times artists don't look at that as well, because when you just post anything at any time, and you're really not posting at effective times when there's more traffic on social media at that time. So you have it down packed, and I'm not surprised. With the level of what you do there, I'm absolutely not surprised that you do it anyway. So let me show another couple of pieces of your artwork, and it's one we saw in the video. I love this piece right here. This horse. This is absolutely amazing.
This one sold during your exhibit when you did the Langston Hughes. This was the one that sold. It's called Broken.
Beautiful. And again, like, to see it in person, it doesn't do it any justice to see it right here. It just doesn't. So what inspired you to paint this, the horse?
Since childhood, I had a love of horses, and I was originally going to do 2 horses facing each. This one has a black background and is like a light horse, white horse. And then I was going to do one with a white background and a black horse, and I was going to have them facing each other. Like I envisioned a horse lover maybe putting up both of them, but I painted it during like a pretty tumultuous time in my life, and I called it broken. You know how horses, they say, you have to break the horse, like is it broken in? You know, like when a horse has to be trained and conditioned to be able to, from being wild, like a horse. Some cowboys, they're able to break a horse where they tame it. So that's why I called it broken, where it was like tamed, and its face, you can see it looks kind of like sad, the horse.
Yes.
So it's just because it was during that point of my life, and I had never made the second horse because it got sold at that exhibit that I did with you at the Langston Hughes Gallery.
Okay. Look at this piece right here. This is different.
Oh, it's a little cut. You can't see the top and bottom.
Oh, okay. So
it's called Mercury Rising.
Let me look. I would want to see the full picture, but this is also is kind of in the same theme as the other piece you had.
Yes, this is the Sufi Whirling Dervish. This is like a modern take of that Whirling Sufi series.
This is a picture right here of one of your paint parties.
Yes.
Well, so just wanted to show this picture as well. And then the artist creating right here. Yeah, which is awesome picture. Awesome picture. I do have another clip that I want to show everyone. I think this is the last clip here.
I'm also deeply influenced by sounds as I paint, becoming a hollow vessel and allowing something other than thought to guide each and every brushstroke. Take this series, for instance. The whole body of work was completed to the intoxicating soundscapes of French DJs like Ensho and Rockless, along with the haunting qawwalis of the great Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. My current series focuses on the whirling dance, or active meditation, which is practiced by the Mevlevi Sufi order in a worship ceremony.
Awesome. Wow. Really awesome. And the video editing is great. I think your husband does video editing, right?
Yeah, he used to, but now he's just working full-time in IT. He was a brilliant video editor, very artistic.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Okay, let me, are you planning on, yes, you like going, besides the art fairs that you do you like going places and exhibiting and on art fairs and things like that? I'm talking about on a larger scale, like Art Expo New York. Have you done much stuff like that where you on a larger scale in the past, things like that? Because that's another type of vending than just doing it. It's not even actually vending. It's something on another level.
No, I haven't done like big, large expos that I can think of. Maybe a long time ago, but mostly I do like festivals, like art festivals that are not, I mean, they're not like humongous. They're more manicured towards like music and art, and it's like a slower pace, not like the Javits Center where it's like, you know, hundreds and lots of thousands of people. I've done like smaller festivals.
Sometimes artists have a issue or trouble pricing their artwork. Is that something you experience? Or are you just confident in how you price your art?
I think I'm much more confident now. Initially, it's very hard when you're young and starting out, like what to charge for your work and your worth. But now I'm pretty confident in charging what I would like. Probably because my business is established pretty much, and I don't have to rely on the selling the artwork income, to make a living and pay the bills. So now
Absolutely.
I'll charge what I think is fair for me,
Yeah.
for my work, for my basically my 20 years of learning how to paint and experience and what I've been through and what I bring to the table. So you're charging. I tell people that, like, people who are clients who are looking to buy art, that people have no problem when they go to see a doctor or a dentist, like some hundreds of dollars, unless you have insurance, and even with the insurance, it's pretty expensive sometimes. So those are professionals, and they are paid that way because, or lawyers, or engineers, or architects, because they went to school for many years and they are certified in that field. Well, artists, it's kind of like the same. You're paying for somebody's blood, sweat, and tears over the years, what they've learned, the wisdom they have, the techniques they've self-taught themselves.
Yes.
So to basically to respect both, don't ever try to I try to educate people on that, to be respectful of people and their worth and their time and value. In my art events, I try to always bring that up when people come to the studio, that just, I think artists are a profession that kind of people don't give enough respect and
Yes.
like value their time.
They think that it's just basically a hobby, and when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
business level, it's a business thing. Like you can have a painting that is, let's say, 36 by 36. Let's say, for example, and then someone will come in and you want to charge them X amount, and then they say, "Well, that's a bit much." It could be something, and this is like extremely low to say
yeah,
$500. That's
yeah,
extremely low for a 36 by 36
yeah,
painting, original. And the reason why I say it's extremely low, if you went to order a print of my artwork at 36 by 36, it's almost $500. It's like $400 for something like that, and that's a copy, because the printing is not cheap. To do
yeah,
full-color printing, 36 by 36 on canvas, stretch, you're going to pay $500 for just a copy. So to expect me to sell the original to you for
yeah,
$100 is insane. And so people don't even realize, when you just think about the fact of, and I tell people all the time, think of how much this same painting would cost if you just got a copy of it. Go to any print company and see how much it would cost you. And and that gives another perspective. And plus the fact that the amount of time, like you said, and effort you put into it, and it's your own creativity, it's a one of a kind. And so, and you have to stand firm on that.
yeah,
You can't you can't lower what you want just to try. You know what I mean? It's I know it's tough and we want to sell art, but I know
and that's hard when you're a kid in your 20s and you're trying to make it in the art business. It's hard because you do want to pay your rent and your bills when you're younger. So I understand where they're coming from initially, but once you have the experience and you keep at it and you're persistent, like I said, what you seek is seeking you. Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, you keep at it, you will become an established artist. I guarantee that. And once you are established and you make a name, it's not just the amount of time that you took for that 36 by 30. You might have only taken a couple hours working on it, and you're charging $500. But what I try to impress on people is that it took this person years and years of honing their craft, and it might be a very simple painting to you, but what the message is, if there's a wisdom in art, there's a spirituality in people's message, what they're trying to express. Remember we said, if you give an adult a plain white canvas, they're like, oh, I don't know, and you tell them, hey, whatever, they get shocked. So that artist has been sticking to it, facing his demons, facing his fears
Yes.
or her fears, and has been going at it to that blank canvas for years. That's a lot of courage. So you're paying for,
Yes.
right? You're paying for somebody's courage to be able to face and look at truths of life, look at truths of society, look at truths of, things that we all human beings go through and what they're trying to express that you couldn't, or the average person cannot. They're too scared to sit at a canvas and do that, come up with that on their own. So it's like more kudos to that person for being able to. So it's not, so it is that, sometimes you and I Kenneth will say, like, the time we put in, the hours and all the years of learning, and that's all true. All of that goes into the pricing, but also this thing of being able to have your courage and to be an artist and to put yourself out there and to look at a blank canvas, and all that is in it too, in pricing.
I tell people all the time, you think my price is, you may go against my price and think I'm a little bit too high, but imagine how much it's going to cost you a second after I die. See, because my kid's going to rake you over the coals if you want something for me after that. You're going to pay a lot more than you're going to pay me right now, because my kids are going to take control of all of this stuff. And then they're going to pass it on to my grandson. It's going to keep going like that. My art is going to live way past me. And so I already know that. And so there's a value to it. And there's footage and there's all types of things. You have footage. We have history. Whereas we're even better off than people like Picasso, because there was not that much videotaping. I have so much footage of me painting and doing things. I'm sure you do. We pass this all on to generations to come. And our art is going to live way past us.
Yes. And another thing I would add is, if the person is saying to you, oh, that's a little too much, that's perfectly fine. Like that artist, Lewis, the quote you said about the artist, what was the guy's name? That
L.S. Lowry.
L.S. Lowry, right? Like, you're not making the painting. If the person doesn't want to buy it, that's perfectly fine.
Nothing I can do about that.
The art that you produce, Kenneth, is meant for a special person who it speaks to. Whoever it speaks to, that person is not going to say that's too much. They are going to say, hey, maybe I'll give you even a tip on top of that, because this is amazing, because it speaks to that person.
To have it. I've had people say to me, I have to have it. So
as an artist, and I think this is a very strong point, we have to remember that your art, I had a piece of art that hung in it's in the videos you sent. It's the woman, and it was in the front, and it was colorful, and her hair is like bursting, but there's spirals of galaxies behind her. And a man, I wanted to purchase it.
Right here?
Yes, this one, the Embrace.
Yep.
So a man wanted to purchase that, a friend of mine wanted to purchase that 5-6 years ago. And he's like, I think I can impress a new girlfriend with that. And I was like, as an artist, I don't want to sell it to you. I don't want to sell it to you because you just want to, impress somebody with it. But exactly. I want to hold on to it because it's very special to me. And I want it to go to somebody who it speaks to, who it's meaningful for, who gets the message. Yes. And then this year, out of nowhere, somebody wrote to me, came over and paid me much more than what I was asking, because they said it really is so special to me, and they just saw it on my website. So that's what I mean. Like, art is supposed to be very personal and meaningful to whoever it speaks to. And when you're making your art, the message you're sending, Kenny, or the message I'm sending, it's going to speak to someone. And that person is the person who's meant to be hearing it, and they will want to buy it, and they're not going to have any qualms about paying the price that you're asking.
And how do you there's collectors. People that buy the art for me, I have them on a special, on a different list as collectors. I even put it on my website, and I'm starting to develop that. I've only done a couple clips on there, but I'm making a separate section for collectors, and they have access to it. They get to see more. People that have bought art from me will be able to see more than someone that just hasn't bought the art from me. I'll show them some behind the scenes things that maybe someone hasn't. Because people that have, a lot of people that have bought art from me, what they say is, it's an investment. They buy art from me as an investment because they they know that the value can increase. So they're investing in you. That's what they're doing. And
Mhm.
that's usually what collectors say. How do you go about finding collectors? And because I know I do certain things, but do you do any things to try to find collectors? And I'll share with you what I do.
No, like I said, the past 5 years, well, a couple years was COVID, but I've been primarily, the universe has been like just guiding me towards this, building the business, and it's been taking up primarily most of my time. So I have not been focusing on that. That's finding collectors and making my own art is something I'm going to go back to. And I'm giving myself about 5 more years with building up the business and outdoors, the vision we have. But in the past, all the paintings at the Langston Hughes galleries that you put up, those sold. And they sold at a very large gala on Wall Street, actually, at the Cipriani. And it just happened that that exhibit fell into my lap, literally. And all of the pieces sold, and it went for a good cause. It was a black tie affair. So maybe I would reach out to the people, the donors that purchased those large pieces. I could do that. I could reach out to people that had me come and display art, go back and try to do that again. But I'll do that when I'm mentally like in that space. Right now, the universe has me in this like, teaching and hosting and providing community service. So when I'm back in that mental space of, you need to be in that flow zone where I have more time to dedicate just to producing large scale pieces. It's a little hard for me right now with the pace of life I have right now with running the business. So I haven't focused on that. But like I said, I would probably reach out to some of those contacts I had. I'd maybe reach out to you actually in a few more years.
I'm so sorry. There have been people that have made comments. I've been so intrigued by what you're saying. We had good morning. Sorry about that. Good morning, young lady.
Oh, we've had comments? We've had comments? You put on my glasses.
Yeah, you got to put your glasses on.
Yeah, I just see good morning. Good morning.
And then we have, I want to make sure, Aretha Shue. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Kudos to letting people know there is a thought process when you are creating art. And then she made the comment here, yes, I'm 22 and I struggle with that. Yes. When you're selling paint, then we also have, when you sell painting, do you also include a certificate of authenticity? I do, but what about you?
No, I haven't. I actually never gave that any thought. I just sign it with my signature.
You should do a certificate of authenticity, and the reason why is that gives the trail of your artwork. When you do the certificate of authenticity, you also have another form that goes with that for the sale of the artwork. And also you let the artist, the person that purchases, know if they want to sell that piece of artwork, that at least call you and give you the option to buy it back. And also it helps with what's called the provenance, the trail of the artwork. So if they sold it, then they can pass that information on selling it, and they put it on there and it keeps moving. So you have a trail. So later on, it's pretty much for years from now when we're not here and people want to authenticate that they bought this actually from you. They have the certificate of authenticity and they have the signature on the piece. So I would do that. I'll send you some information about that.
Yeah, that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, but definitely do that. Great question.
Definitely.
Great question.
Send me the information for that.
I will. I'm sorry about the comments because I'm just so intrigued and just listening to your
We
story.
were having a good conversation.
Yes. I'm sorry about that, folks. Listen, we're coming towards the end. One of the things we do is we have our inspirational artist quote, and we also get some advice, what advice you have for up and coming artists. But our artist quote is this: to create one's own world takes courage. And that's Georgia O'Keeffe. To create one's own world takes courage. And that's really what we're talking about here right now. Stepping out on faith, creating artwork, being willing to take the criticism, being willing to take
Yeah.
the accolades, taking it all like electricity, negative and positive, empowering and lighting things up from that.
Yeah.
So yes, and your spirit is so great. You have such a healthy attitude. I'm not surprised you made it through COVID, and I'm not surprised you're thriving right now. So, what advice would you have for young and up and coming artists?
Young and up and coming artists. Well, what I was saying earlier, remember about how it takes a lot of courage. Same as the Georgia O'Keeffe quote, like with the blank canvas and putting yourself out there and facing your like doubts. Facing doubt is a huge one. But if you're really interested in making it in the art field and have a vision and have persistence, determination, I know, like we discussed, like paying the rents and getting started, getting your foot in the door is the hard part. But if you keep at it, stay true to yourself, what you really, really want to express, what's authentic for you, really look deep down inside and be very truthful to yourself. Like, what is it that you want to create and bring into this manifested world? And if you're true to that, what you seek will be seeking you. You will be getting the manifesting the fruits of that labor.
Beautiful, beautiful. Again, I'm going to put the building up here. What's your actual address, if I can?
It's 2374 Nottingham Way.
2374
Nottingham Way. It's in Hamilton, but the post office labels it Trenton, New Jersey 08619.
Okay. Art of Art. Also
Art
remember the glow parties. Don't forget that. We got the glow parties that go on. We have the talented artists that creates, and we have the paint parties that go on. And then, we just have the absolutely beautiful, amazing work that is put into this. I'm so grateful that you decided to come on again. I'm going to show your social media. Then we have the Instagram, we have the personal page, the art page.
Right here, Ken, I want to go over this. So what I want to leave the viewers with is the heart of art right here. Art education, commissioned art, live music and art events, Imaginarium. So Imaginarium's like, come here with a vision, what you can imagine, and I'll help you. Creative playground. And it's like, I want, my husband and I both want our space to have this warm, welcoming feeling, and I think mostly everyone who comes says that this place feels really warm. It feels very welcoming. So it's the heart of art, where all art stems from, whether it's poetry, music, visual arts, written novels. It's always the truest art is from the heart. So always go after what you're passionate about, what's authentic to you. For young artists, that was my message.
Awesome. And then we have her Facebook Art of Art page. And then we have by Yusuf's Facebook page. I mean, this has been such a blessing again to have you on. I'm so grateful you decided to come on. We're going to look at one of the short videos from you again, just this last one. I'm going to show this one more time for our viewers.
I have been drawn to create art and examine spiritual truth since early childhood. I love music and poetry, especially Rumi, as well as nature. I see the unnameable in the skies, the oceans, the flowers and trees, all the cycles of life. I aim to bring the attention of you, the viewer, back to the essence of where we all originate from. Our collective consciousness, or the source. My paintings are symbolic depictions of our shared suffering and the transformative power of acceptance and love.
Yes, beautiful. And again, we thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And,
Thank you.
And
That was
remember, like I told you, everyone, please follow, please support.
Thanks, Kenneth.
All right. So listen, I want everybody to stay on. I'm gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, and again, we want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Hello, everyone. What an amazing interview. Saima Youssef. Saima Youssef. Follow her, please. And listen, again, doing a little housekeeping here myself. And please, if you would like to support my YouTube channel, you can do so a couple of different ways. First, let me show you, I have also Art with Kenneth podcast. I have an episode that's going to drop this week. It's a painting that I've been working on, and I'm going to walk you through the process. And it's like part 1, and then we're going to continue with part 2 to that. But that's Art with Kenneth podcast on YouTube. You can support my channel via Square. You can also support my channel via Venmo. Is that a play here? And you can also support the channel via Cash App. I want to put the banner out of the way. Stuff over here. There you go, Cash App. Venmo and Square as well. And again, like I said, thanks for tuning in and watching the show. I am so grateful. Looking forward to next Sunday at 11 a.m. We have a special show next week, Christmas Eve. And thanks again for watching.